Going into the Apple store now. See if I can get my new MacBook Air with the M5 chip. All right, thank you very much. Thanks, have a good day. Thanks. Just got the bag with the MacBook Air, and I bought a mouse while I was at the store. It's actually heavier than I thought it would be. Kind of looks blue in certain light, and then it looks silvery in other light. I do love that Apple logo on there, though. Good size trackpad. Screen is okay. The MagSafe charging cord. And the 70-watt charger. Let's see what this bad boy can do. So when I was monitoring the charging rate, I noticed something strange. So let me show you what I mean by that. At 5:20 a.m., battery storage capacity was at 44%, okay? 5:44, I checked again. It was up to 73%, and it said 1 hour, 4 minutes till fully charged. No problem. Minute later, 5:45, I happened to look at it again. It was up to 74%, but the time to finish charging it was also up from 1 hour, 4 minutes to 1 hour, 7 minutes. 5:47, 2 minutes later, it was up to 75%. Also, the time to fully charge the battery was up 1 hour, 10 minutes. Again, around 5:49, up to 76%. It went up to 1 hour, 14 minutes till being fully charged. The more the capacity of the battery percentage was, the longer the time would take to finish charging it. It was very strange. Finally, at around 5:51 a.m., 78% battery capacity. It was down to 1 hour and 11 minutes, and then it steadily decreased after that as the battery capacity percentage went up. Some of the features I want to test on this MacBook Air are more features that I would use personally. One of the things I want to check out the sidecar feature with my M1 iPad Pro. I'm going to add the iMac Pro. And as you can see here now, I can move the mouse cursor between the two, as well as can also move the different windows between the two. And you can also change the format. You can put the iPad on the right side or the left side. I'll show you how to do that real quick. You go down here to Arrange, and you can just move them over. As you can see here, I've got my Mac Studio with the Studio display. I have a 2019 iMac with a 27-inch screen. And of course, we've got the MacBook Air M5 chip. Let's see if we can get these other two screens to go with or adjust to the MacBook Air. Okay, we now have two of the monitors set up. Well, apparently I'm only able to get one of the two extra monitor screens to connect with and mirror the MacBook Air with the M5 chip. All right, since I was not able to connect two monitors to this MacBook Air, the M5 chip, via the two USB-C ports, I'm going to try a different approach here. This time I'm going to use the iPad Pro with the M1 chip, and I'm going to connect this HP monitor here with a adapter here that I can use for HDMI. We're going to plug it in on this computer. We're going to be using the Satechi hub. Fits nicely and snugly into the two USB-C ports. It has a USB-C, HDMI, two USB-A cables, the memory card readers, and another USB-C port. So we're going to plug in the HDMI port. Let's turn the monitor on. Monitor, looks like we are mirroring the MacBook Air with the M5 chip. Let's see if we can get sidecar rolling here now on the iPad Pro with the M1 chip. We are successful. We have the HP monitor, we have the MacBook Air with the M5 chip, and we have the sidecar working with the iPad Pro with the M1 chip, so we do have three monitors available. Okay, it does look like we can use the three screens here for the MacBook Air with the M5 chip. Apparently you have to use an HDMI port for at least one of the monitors, and then you can either use sidecar or the USB-C port for the other monitor. What I'd like to do is test the sound quality on this MacBook Air M5 chip. against the sound quality of an iPad Pro with an M1 chip. So let's take a listen here and you decide. All right, let's start out with the MacBook Air M5 chip, see how that sounds on the speaker system. Okay, now let's compare that to the iPad Pro with the M1 chip. They kind of sort of sound alike. Not bad speakers for an internal speaker, but I think the sound quality could be a little better. So we're going to put the iPad Pro out of the way here. And what I'd like to do now is test the sound quality using, first of all, these old school earbuds with the cord. Put it into the jack on the side here. Oh, much better sound quality. It works really well. We'll take those out and we'll try the Bluetooth earbuds. And the left one. Wow. I have to lower the sound on that a little bit. Sounds really good. The next test will be the Sony earphones. Oh, very good. I still think that these guys here have the slight advantage over these, but what good is these are more comfortable over the ears, and especially if I'm going to be editing video with sound and music, I can at least hear it this way and not disturb anyone else. This speaker system is the Brave & Stride 360, and let's see how it sounds. It's coming out of that bad boy. All in all, I'm enjoying how every device here is interconnected with the MacBook Air, and I'm going to enjoy using these different devices when I'm editing videos. I want to compare the onboard cameras of both my MacBook Air M5 chip as well as my iPad Pro with the M1 chip, see if there's any difference whatsoever. The MacBook Air has 12 megapixel center stage camera. It is a 1080p desk view only camera, whereas the iPad Pro is dual camera. It's got one in the front, one in the rear. The rear camera is 12 megapixels. Front-facing camera is 10 megapixels, and it can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second. Both cameras are center stage, so let's take a look and compare. All right, we are testing the video quality here of the cameras, the onboard cameras here. The iPad Pro has center stage, so as I move, it moves. I believe I have it on the computer too. But you can see here the different qualities of both. The one thing that I do like about the iPad Pro is it's got a back-facing camera in addition to the front-facing camera, whereas the MacBook Air only has a front-facing camera. I guess the only thing I can do with that is something I downloaded an app yesterday with this mirror here. But there's different things you can do with it. Settings, you can make the screen bigger or smaller, flip the image. Other than that, the only way that you can use the camera on the MacBook Air is through FaceTime. When I was a little kid, I used to watch my dad edit video the old-fashioned way. He would have Super 8 film that he would literally use Scotch tape to connect different pieces to, and then he would play them on the projector that he had. And ever since then, I've been very interested in video editing, which led me to Apple's Final Cut Pro. Basically, from my point of view as a content creator, I would just like to see how, if I take a 13-inch screen on a MacBook Air with the M5 chip, how it would be to use such a smaller screen than I'm used to than on my Mac Studio display and or my iMac screen as a secondary viewer. So let's take a look here. I've got a DJI clip in here. I want to import the DJI LUTs in here so that when I take it with the various DJI cameras that I have on the drones, cameras, etc., that I'll be able to apply the LUTs to it for the D-Log M. Looks a lot better. Colors look good. I guess using this little screen is not going to be too bad. It's the portability that I like. So if I'm on if I'm at an out of town or out of state adventure, I can at least get some preliminary video editing done and sorting out files and things like that, so that when I do get back home, I can then load them onto my Mac Studio and go from there.